Good morning, Montrose. I'm Tonya Maddox, publisher of the Montrose Daily Press. And in the MDP studios, we have Dr. Doug Brannam from Peak Professionals. Dr. Doug, he has allowed me to call him, has already been trying to straighten up my act in more than one ways. So without further ado, we are going to chat with Dr. Doug. So, all right, Dr. Doug, tell me this. How nervous are you?
I'm very nervous.
See, he must not have seen many of these shows. Montrose is kind and nice, and we love, love, love to learn about new things, and especially from folks who are trying to help our bodies be the best that they can so that we can live the fullest life. So, what do you do for a living?
I'm a chiropractor.
You are. I would have never guessed that. So you just don't walk around with little skeletons, all day. And,
No.
yeah. But so you're a chiropractor who has moved to Montrose recently. Okay.
I've been here about 5 years.
About 5 years. Well, a little longer than I've been. However, you grew up or you went to high school or graduated from high school in the area. Tell us about.
I graduated in Broomfield, and then my parents moved up here to Olathe right after I graduated. So
they were smart. But you, so you stayed here for a while, and then you went off to medical school?
No, actually, while I was here, I was an electrician's apprentice.
Really?
So I was doing electrical work, and then I moved back to Broomfield with my friend and did industrial assembly, and then got into computer-aided drafting and design. I've got a mind for mechanics and drawing, and that's I don't know.
Okay.
And then from there,
let me just stop you there.
Yeah.
You know, most people have one career,
Yeah.
maybe two. Okay.
I have too many.
Yes. All right. So from there.
This is the first take.
Yes, it is.
So while I was doing that, my sister met a guy in college, and they got married.
Because we do that sometimes.
Yep. And they went to he went to chiropractic college.
Okay.
And when I was born in Iowa, and my dad was in chiropractic college.
Oh, wow.
So I've kind of grown up in the chiropractic mindset and community.
Yes.
I have aunts and uncles who are chiropractors. So I didn't go that way initially. I went into more the design and mechanics portion, but then my dad taught me to adjust when I was a teenager, so I could adjust him.
Oh, yeah.
And so I've been adjusting friends and family since I was a teenager. And he came back from, I think it was summer break from school, and I adjusted him, and he said, "You should go to chiropractic college. You're really good at this." So that's what I did.
So this was just a long way around to what you currently do, and it's obvious that you love it because you came in. He actually let me carry some of these props here, but I did see him eyeing me. But tell me what you love about helping people, adjusting them, and what is it because it's helpful and you've taken away their pain? What got you into this industry? Or what keeps you in the industry?
What keeps me in is the relief that I can provide to people, and the education about how they should do things and be aware of what they're doing to prevent pain.
Right.
People come in with like shoulder, back, low back pain, and I adjust it, get the spine moving properly again, get the muscles to balance and support that. And then in my conversations with them, we start to analyze, what do you do at home, what do you do at work that can be impacting this and contributing to it. And I've actually had a couple patients bring in pictures of their desk and their workspace.
Oh.
And then I tell them, well, that's too low, that's too off to the side. Your keyboard's here, your monitor's there, your phone's over here. You're always like cranking around. Yeah, your neck is going to hurt.
Right.
So
Okay.
I've done some ergonomic analysis for a couple of patients.
Listen to that. Sydney, we're going to have him come in and look at all of our staff's desks, that's for sure. So tell me this, in your opinion, 'cause you told me a story about a construction worker, which I think everyone here would love to hear. In your opinion, are people coming in to see you when it's too late, when there's pain there, or is there preventative care that's happening as well?
I want to say it's never too late.
Okay. Good answer, Dr. Doug.
There are degrees of recovery that can be achieved depending on how soon you come in.
Okay.
So sooner is better. As soon as you feel something not right, something hurts, then come in and get it addressed.
Okay.
But there are like accidents and injuries where people take like physical damage that we can get correction and get mobility back in there. But if there's been some traumatic like fracture or something's broken, we can get some improvement. But where was I going here?
Well, where you're going is how do we relieve pain to some of these folks or for some of these folks. So listen, we're going to take a quick break, and then when we get back, Dr. Doug is going to tell us a story about a construction worker that he has seen. Also, for you ladies out there who wear 3-inch heels on a regular basis like I do, we're going to get some free advice from Dr. Doug. We'll be right back.
Here in the heart of beautiful western Colorado, known for its unrivaled outdoor recreation, bountiful harvests, and unparalleled quality of life, changes are being made. Elevate Fiber is transforming the way we work, live, and play by creating exciting new opportunities for local families and businesses. Are you ready?
And welcome back to the MDP Studios. I'm Tonya Maddox, and in the studios today is Dr. Doug. Dr. Doug Brannam is a chiropractor with Peak Professionals, and we've been having a good time. His props have scared me just a little bit, but I think I'm okay. So, Dr. Doug, we were talking about preventative care, but you also made a point of saying that it's never too late. Tell us about a situation where someone came in to see you that had been going down the same path of, I don't know, destruction or whatever you want to call it.
Repetitive stress injury.
Repetitive stress injury. I have learned a new term. So tell us a story about that recently you've been treating.
So I have some people who come in that do desk jobs, and the human body is not designed for a desk job because you start out sitting all upright and proper, but the screen is there, and by the end of the day, you're starting to hunch over and slouch.
Right.
So just having bad ergonomics of the workspace will take its toll on you.
Okay.
So I have one gentleman who's just got terrible upper back and neck pain. So I've been adjusting him and working on him with his office space ergonomics.
So because of his workspace, that's where the pain is coming from, day in, day out. And when you're old like me, it's like, oh my gosh, I've been sitting at a desk for years.
So I like to tell people...
Wait, he agreed to that. Did you hear that?
What?
He just, old what?
So I like to tell people your head is basically a bowling ball.
Okay.
So you've got the bowling ball on top of a broomstick. And you got to balance that. So your ears should be over your shoulders.
Okay.
And then your shoulders over your hips when you're standing. But when you're sitting, ears over shoulders. And the muscles in the front and the muscles in the back are sharing this load, so it's kind of a balanced load. But if you go from the side, for every inch your ear comes forward from your shoulder, these muscles in the back are carrying an extra 10 pounds.
Oh
so
my
it becomes a
gosh.
20-pound head, a 30-pound head as you start slouching forward. So then these muscles are just straining to hold that head up all day.
Wow.
And then if your keyboard is too high, then you're going to be raising your shoulders up so you don't bang your elbows. So you're just going to start crimping all of this up for 8 hours a day.
So what do you think of those new desk systems that rise so that folks can stand?
Those are awesome.
Okay, really? Oh,
Yeah.
darn, you're an infomercial for those.
I actually read some information on that, and there's a study that showed that a standing employee is like 20% more productive.
Really?
Because you're standing, you feel like you're in action, you're not all crunched up and huddled up, so you're more relaxed and you're more productive.
Okay, did you guys hear that? A standing employee is more productive. So, Sid, guess what? We're taking away all the desks here. Everyone's going to stand. All right, I'm going to put you on the spot because you told me something when we were prepping and getting ready about the way I was sitting. What's wrong with this?
So, the way you're sitting with your feet off to the left, that's putting a lot of extra weight on your right hip, and then you're up on this shoulder. So you're stressing these muscles in the shoulder and the back, and then when you sit on this side, you're putting extra weight on this joint here in the hip.
Okay.
So the sacrum and the ilium make up the SI joint right here.
Okay.
And when you walk, these bones are supposed to kind of shift on the sacrum.
Right.
So if you're always sitting on one side, you're going to stress the ligaments in that SI joint. And then when you get up, it's going to be a little stiff. It's not going to be moving right.
Ooh. Okay, I'm not sure I like that.
So if you can sit this way for 30 minutes and then sit the other way for 30 minutes.
Okay.
Evenly distribute the forces. I can't tell people not to do their job, but I can help them try to mitigate the stresses on their bodies and try to equalize the stresses so that their bodies are more balanced and functional by the end of the day.
Okay. Well, so we're going to get Sid into a close-up because anyone who has seen me out knows that I wear anywhere from 2.5 to 3 inch heels on a regular basis. All right, I'm putting you on the spot again. How? Oops, I'm stuck here. All right. So these heels, what will that do to me for me over time? What is that doing?
So a lot of times people have a straight low back.
Okay.
And the curves of your spine are your shock absorption.
Ah.
So if you have a flatter low back, then the heels will actually improve that curve.
Nice.
So that can reduce some of the stress in the low back. But to counter that, it's kind of hard on the feet because we're built to absorb shocks in the arch. And if you're always up on your toes, then that can shorten the calf muscle, cause Achilles tendon problems in the future.
All right. So there's some good and some bad, ladies. All right. Don't throw out the heels. And if you do, I wear 6.5.
And do stretches.
And
stretch your calves.
Okay, stretch your calves. Good.
It's all stress mitigation.
Stress mitigation. I like that. I'm loving these terms. Okay, we'll be right back with Dr. Doug, and we'll just take a quick break. And welcome back to Montrose Matters. I'm Tonya Maddox, and I am the publisher of the Daily Press. I've been having a great time with Dr. Doug here. I have learned that I can keep wearing my heels. I do need to, move around a little bit and sit on different sides. This has been extremely informative, Dr. Doug. Let me ask you this. If there was something that you wanted us to know that would enhance our life and our health and so forth, what would that be? What would you want your parting words to be for everyone watching?
Go for a walk, drink plenty of water, and analyze your workspace. Pay attention to what you're doing every day because it's repeated activities or repeated postures that are uneven that start to develop an imbalance in your body. So if you can find balance and maintain your balance, then you'll grow old with balance.
That is great. So, when you said go for a walk, I'm curious, what is it because it's just exercise and it's cardiovascular and those types of motions, or is it the actual movements that help our spine?
Both.
Oh,
it's
yay,
walking,
I was right about
walking
something.
Is all good. So we were talking earlier about the SI joints and how the ilia move on the sacrum. But when you're walking, swinging your arms, then you're using your core muscles. So you're strengthening the core, strengthening the shoulders. Movement is life to a joint, so it's good for your shoulders while you're swinging. The muscles get hydrated by flexing and pushing out fluid, and then when they relax, they draw in fresh fluid. So just the whole body, the body's meant to walk.
Right.
So you get the activities in the hips and the shoulders and the core twisting, and it's good exercise, and it's really good for the joints and the muscles.
So you said something that's interesting to me. Movement is life to a joint. So we live in such a sedentary society. Wow, is that part of our problem?
That's a big portion of the problem.
Really?
Because as your body is all fluid. We're a bag of fluid, I guess.
I always thought it, but
so if we don't move, then the fluid just becomes stagnant.
Wow.
So you've got to move, and the flexing and moving moves the fluid around and circulates things. The heart's pumping, but it only pumps to the region and then diffuses into the area. The veins don't pump to bring it back. They're just a little gauge system. They're a gate system. So you have to flex the muscles to push the fluid back into the veins and push it back into the heart and lungs to get circulated again.
Okay. So this is quite funny, and I feel good about this. So you, like myself, talk with your hands. I am a gesticulator. I have been that way for years. So am I getting more movement by doing this? Can I just forget about walking and just keep talking?
No.
No?
Your upper body's moving, that's good, but your legs aren't moving.
Oh, darn. I was hoping I could get out of that. Well, on the flip side, let me ask you this, because we are a active community for the most part. What about running? Lots of outdoor activities. So you can hike and do those things. But I see runners out there all the time. Is that as good for you as walking, or is it more stressful on certain joints?
It's more stressful for sure, because you're moving your mass harder and faster. So a lot of runners have a heavy heel strike when they land.
Right.
So that heel strike sends that shock up into the knee and the hip and the spine. So every step they're going bang on that heel and driving it up the body.
Interesting.
So I was just reading the other day about barefoot running, and he was talking about how when you take off your shoes and run, you learn how hard that heel strike is.
Yes.
And he discovered that you should run more flat-footed, kind of land on the outside and roll into it. And you get more shock return from the muscles and the tissues in your foot. So running is hard, and
You're telling me.
It is a demand on the cardiovascular system. It will strengthen that, but it's kind of difficult on the ankles and the knees.
Do you remember when, and I'm totally about to age myself, but several years ago, these shoes that had, I don't know, they almost form-fitting, your toes were kind of sticking through, and, and people were running in those shoes. Was that, you would think that you didn't have the shock absorption and some of the things that, regular running footwear would have. And they may have found out those same things. It's almost like running barefoot, how hard it is on your body.
That was I believe, the idea behind those toe socks and toe shoes.
Yes, that's okay.
Is that there was less cushion under the heel and the shoe thing, so you'd run better. But my concern with them was the extra material between your toes, spreading your toes out, because you have the metatarsals, these bones in the foot there, and there's intrinsic muscles between those, and I don't think enough research has been done on the extra material between the toes and the effect that might have on the tarsals, metatarsals, and the muscles in there.
Thank you. Dr. Doug, it has been just great to sit and chat with you. I have personally learned a lot. I'm not just excited that I can keep my shoe wear, but I'm going to get out and walk more, watch the way that I sit. So Montrose, you guys hold me accountable and make sure I'm switching sides from time to time. Dr. Doug, it's been a pleasure. We're so glad that you and your wife decided to move back here and that we can find you at Peak Professionals, right? Everyone get out, do some preventative care. Let's not wait until we're in a lot of pain. Have a great day, Montrose.